Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Welcome to another episode of Forensic Files. Some of the names have been changed to protect their identity.
Up next, a real estate developer lives in fear for his life.
I was scared for him.
On a spring afternoon, his worst fear comes true.
My husband's dead.
A computer search exposes some dark secrets. It was a 20-year clue that helped unlock this case.
Are you kidding me? You found a bullet that had been fired in 1989.
In western Colorado, a successful land developer, Alan Hamlick, and his wife Miriam were going through a difficult time. On a personal level, someone had recently tried to take Alan's life.
While Alan's waiting for Miriam, he noticed smoke coming out the back end of his car.
It was in the middle of the parking lot in broad daylight.
Very scary.
There's firefighters everywhere. It was so scary.
Apparently, someone had placed a lit fuse in his gas tank.
Nobody witnessed the car being lit.
For whatever reason, the conditions weren't right for an explosion. The car did not explode.
Alan was brought in by police.
Do you know anyone that would have a problem with you?
There are two people that have had a problem.
Okay, who are those two people?
Our two entities. One was the State Bank and the president, the vice president. They were trying to accuse me of an illegal loan, which I didn't make, they made.
I doubt that these people will kill Alan for some dumb reason, but it could happen, in my opinion, of course.
Were these people mad at Alan? Did they have the guts to kill him? 6 weeks later, Alan missed a scheduled lunch date with his wife Miriam. She drove and found him dead on the floor.
My husband's dead.
What's the problem?
He's on the floor. It looks like somebody came in and robbed us.
When the first responder got to the scene, he pronounced Alan Hamlick dead, shot in the head by a .25 caliber handgun.
There was no way it was a suicide. The weapon was not even close to the injury.
It's terrible for all of us.
At first, it looked like robbery was a possible motive. The whole place was messy, but no forced entry.
The reason there was no way it was a robbery because other robberies have the whole house ransacked. In Miriam's case, not even half the house was ransacked. Some stuff was intact, it looked perfectly clear. So it was very odd to us, and there was no forced entry, so there was no way of getting in.
Miriam Hamlick was a possible suspect because she found the body. She willingly did a gunshot residue test. Anyone who fires a gun usually comes into contact with a gaseous discharge. It turns out there was no residue on her hands. A week after Alan Hamlick's funeral, Miriam found a greeting card. The note read, "Alan was first, you're next, run, run, run."
Miriam was freaking out about this. She was convinced someone's out to get her.
There was no saliva or fingerprints on the letter, and it was learned that the most recent sale just happened 4 days ago, 13 miles away. Detectives asked to see the store's surveillance tapes. He was confronted by the police.
She did admit of placing the card at her house. Her explanation was to get law enforcement to refocus on the investigation and be more active.
Now police are going to search Miriam and Alan's computer drive to see possible clues. All sorts of interesting things. One thing about a drug overdose. We soon find out that Miriam would be rewarded of the result of Alan's death. Williams, her motive was most likely for the money. 6 years earlier, Miriam's first husband, Jack Gills, shot himself to death while he was sleeping next to her. Police discovered something odd about this suicide. For one thing, it was Miriam's half-brother, local policeman, who was first on the scene and declared him dead as suicide. Jack supposedly killed himself with his right hand, but he was a lefty.
Problem was, the police had no proof Miriam shot and killed her husband.
Since Miriam's half-brother was in the police force, it was very easy to fake a suicide, which is really suspicious to us and shows more proof that she murdered her husband, Alan.
Police are now sure that she was responsible for the attempted bombing of the car. We had so much evidence against Miriam: the car bombing, and the computer searches. The only thing they didn't have was a .25 caliber handgun.
Listeners at Christine recall seeing a gun that they believed was in the murder in my father's dresser.
The gun was now missing from the dresser.
Now we can point the finger at Miriam. She is the only one who had access to the gun.
20 years earlier, the same gun had been fired in a domestic dispute involving Wendy's grandparents. A stranger jumped in to stop the grandfather, and the gun went off.
Luckily, when we talked to the stranger, he remembered every single thing like it was yesterday. We are very grateful for him.
Forensic analysts used a metal detector to try to find the bullet.
We found the bullet.
It was hard to figure it out, but the bullet casing was still easy to read. This was enough to convince Miriam for murder. They believed that Miriam was stealing money, and knowing that the relationship was going to end, she found ways to kill Alan. First with the overdose, then the car bombing. Then she took the gun from the dresser. She walked up behind him and shot him in the back of the head. She showered and went out of the house to make up an alibi. She had faked a 911 call, acting like she just found him dead. She went to court and was found guilty.
When Miriam was giving her testimony, she made her case worse by putting on some act to make us feel bad for what she done.
You're really trying to convince us it wasn't you.
I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I just found him there, laying.
Whoa!
Wait, I wasn't ready.
Welcome to another episode of Forensic File.
Hold on, I have to think about. I was scared for him.
Yeah, for whatever reason, the conditions were not right.